Hello and welcome to Update Novi. We're here at SWAC Studios, and with me on set is the Honorable Mayor Bob Gatt. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's been a while.
A long while?
A long while. I think the last time we saw you on TV was a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Oh, yes. That was...
We have water in your cup today.
Yes.
And we are very proud and honored to have with us here.
We had water in my cup last time, too. Let's get that straight for anybody that's listening. Colored water, but it was water.
We're very proud and honored to have with us, for the final time, our esteemed city manager, Clay Pearson. Welcome.
Thank you both. Hopefully last time as a manager, but maybe you'll let me come back as an alumni guest sometime. So.
Absolutely.
We would like to do that.
We
could bring Clay back. We could bring Ed Crewall and Rick Helwig and our next city manager. We could have a foursome.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
With you and I, it'd be a sixsome.
Let's move on. You know what, Clay? It's only fitting that we sit down with you and share all of the many things that have been accomplished in what flew by so incredibly fast for me, as I'm sure it did for you. But during your time here for the past, 13 years?
Yep, 13 and a half years. September of 2000 came as the assistant, and it really has, I think back and I just feel blessed to have been part of the ride with this community and growing up with it in a lot of ways. It's a different place than when we got here in 2000, but hopefully together we've created a little bit better of a place.
Absolutely, and we were spending some time reflecting just in our office, 13 years ago, how things have progressed and moved forward. It's crazy, and when you look out the window and you look at the whole landscape of Novi, 13 years, goes by like that.
Yep.
But when you look at what's been accomplished, it's absolutely amazing. And so we want to talk about some of those highlights and things that maybe you're most proud of, and Mayor, as being a former employee, it does go by in a blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye, and the whole world's changed in 13 years. You came in 2000, that's pre 9/11,
Yep.
and Novi's changed dramatically. I can't even begin it, but we're going to start talking about that.
So your first, when you arrived in Novi, first thoughts maybe?
Well, it was a whirlwind even then. Had to look and find a house in the housing market. That's probably one of the big things is we had to come back on the weekends and get a listing of the houses that are available that morning. And we had to look at those and basically make decisions same day because the housing market was so hot.
It was crazy in 2000, sure.
We were making bids at asking price and getting outbid. It was just dramatically different. So that's one thing that struck me. And then on the work side of things, just getting up to speed. But there was projects like working with PLC on the Fountain Walk development, which was still under construction.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. And those are some of the early ones. And then the 2000 road bond, that was a big deal. Maybe you probably remember that. Mm-hmm. There had been a bond issue that failed earlier in the year, and that November 2001 passed. And then we were off and running once the voters approved that to implement that. And there's a lot of road construction that went on. So I had the opportunity to be involved in that with the rest of the staff and getting those projects out and going. So it was an exciting time, and it never really stopped.
If you could put your finger on maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite all-time projects, that were the most fun. The fun, engaging, that really, put that spark in you.
Well, there's probably 2 that come to mind. One's the Novi Public Library. It's just a cool project because it's so important as part of that Civic Center campus. And I look at the library as also working on First Park and then creating that at the same time. And that was something that we saw early on as a great opportunity. It fit right into this community. We hit the timing perfectly with the bonds and the construction, and it went very smoothly. We had a great team with the building authority, and we met every week, it's felt like, for a couple years to talk about that. So that whole First Park library, it's one of those physical things you think about. And then another thing was working on the 12 Oaks Mall expansion with the Nordstrom wing. Yep. And at the same time, this thing called Providence Park Hospital wanted to be built, and we just gotten through the approval for the new interchange, that single point urban interchange at Beck Road. That was all new, and we were growing like crazy still. We opened up a satellite office for our building department up on 11 and Beck in the old fire station. And so just so we could keep up with those big construction projects. So, it was exciting times, and those things are still going. I tell people many times that Novi's got 3 big economic engines, 12 Oaks Mall and all the retail there, the Suburban Collection Showplace now with the Hyatt Place, and Providence Park Hospital. And those are just huge engines for housing and jobs and retail, and any community killed to have one of those, and we've got 3. So I felt like we worked with Blair and moving the Suburban Collection at the time, the Rock Financial Showplace from the old place. That was a cool thing too. I don't remember sequentially when that happened, so I could go on.
Yeah, it all happened. You're right. I mean, ITC, the Suburban Collection, it all,
ITC.
like within maybe like an 18-month period, it seemed like it was
Right.
all moving.
Right.
So it was, I would think like 2005, 2006, it was really fun, crazy times.
Yep.
Crazy times.
Crazy
And-
times,
and
but good crazy.
good crazy. And Clay said it. Most communities would kill to have
One
a
of
quarter
those.
what we have. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let alone have all 3.
And y'all know it wasn't all wine and roses. I mean, 2008, I'll never forget, I was out on an event with one of our large developers and from Haggerty Road area, and he was on the phone with the bank trying to get credit for a really good project. And if I was smart, I would have picked up on that and went and sold all my stocks and turned them into bonds and been better off. But that's when sort of the housing crunch hit, and it hit us hard, just like the whole metro area.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go through a lot of retrenchment and a lot of pain, and hurt a lot of people, and we had to adjust. But I think we came out on the other end of that strong, maybe being stronger than we were. I think our team, the organization, and maybe if I could, that's what I'm most proud of is this city group and the organization. Our police, fire departments, public works. I think we're set up to. You all will take this even higher and do a lot better things than what we did over the last 13 years.
Well, we can only hope. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of memories, a lot of hard work, but I think together, City Council, obviously, our leadership, Novi has shined. Even through, you say there were some hard days, Novi still, Clay, I truly believe, still always had that shining light. People always still looked at Novi, and regardless of the economic times, as being the place to be.
The place, the leader. You
Yep.
know, a lot of communities look at us with a little jealousy in their eyes, and I don't mean that bad, but it's just true. But it didn't just happen. He said it.
Exactly.
We have a team, and we had the leadership, and we put it all to work.
So, as your Novi story comes to a close, we might as well share with everybody, or people that may not know, you are off to what seems to be an absolutely incredible community just south of Houston.
Yep, it's really a great fit. Wasn't looking, but they came knocking and researched it. And Pearson, Texas, shares a border with Houston. It's roughly twice Novi's size geographically and population, and growing like crazy. A lot of great retail, and they want to add the office, quality office development component. Residential developments very strong. So it's kind of like going to maybe what we said, the 2004-05 kind of time frame, and getting back into that mode. And Houston metro area is really exciting. I think it's going to be brand new, and Jennifer and I are excited. So it's bittersweet, but it's a great fit, I think, and hope y'all will come down and visit.
Y'all,
soon.
you already got that down, huh?
Just that for you. Yep.
Oh, y'all, boy.
I like it. Next time we see him, he'll have a hat on and some boots.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. Yeah.
Don't hold your breath on that part. So.
Any parting thoughts, words of wisdom, anything?
No, I just been very fortunate to be a part of this group, and the mayor and council have been fantastic. I have been manager for a bit of my career here, but all throughout, we've had great elected leadership, and Mayor Gatt and Mayor Landry I've been fortunate to work with as my only 2 mayors as manager, and they've been fantastic. So very supportive, quality people who love the community, do it for all the right reasons. Not to get too philosophical or political even, but that's one of the things probably that Novi's had that's really helped us set aside is people here who've come here, have done it out of love of community. I tell resident groups that the mayor and council serve as volunteers. They get a small pittance remittance, and it doesn't go anywhere close to replacing the time and the energy that it requires. So feel very fortunate with all that. So it'll be fun, and I'll stay a Facebook fan and more and keep up with y'all. I've done that.
You said y'all
I
again.
know, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you're so embedded in a place like this, and you feel it and see it. It's not going away.
Do you kind of look at this as kind of a going home? I mean, grew up in Kansas. The people, it's that whole Midwest feel. You had to have felt
Right.
that when you were down there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think coming to Michigan and Novi, I didn't know much of anything about this community when we came, and you know, felt very welcome from the get-go and have that same vibe there. They're very hospitable, and we've made great friends here, and we're going to be able to do the same there. So you're right. I think it is that Midwest. Maybe that's where we feel fortunate. I'll be changing time zones, but still in this sort of people that have that work ethic, you know, have the right reasons for doing things.
Oh, good deal. Well, thank you on behalf of all of our city team for everything that you've done and your leadership and vision and keeping us all on our toes for the past so many years. And on behalf of council.
That's right, Clay. On behalf of all my colleagues on council and on behalf of Mayor Landry and all the councils that served under you, thank you for all of your efforts. Thanks. And for making Novi so great.
Thanks. We all been very indulging and letting us try things and do things and give us the resources to do that. And I know not everybody necessarily understood or was 100% on every bit of it. And we experimented and we moved people around and did different things. And you know, I think that's the results speak for themselves.
The only thing constant is change, you know, and now we're all going to experience another change.
Yep.
So.
And Novi's a very desirable place. You're going to get a lot of interest, and it'll be very competitive, and you'll get somebody that'll be great to keep it going.
Good deal. Thanks again
Thanks.
for
Thank
everything.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you, boss.
Thanks.
Stay tuned. When we come back to update Novi, Mayor Gatt and I are going to look to the future, talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the next couple months. We got some budgets.
We've got some budgets covered up.
Budgeting to do, and we've got a city manager
gotta-
search that we got to get underway. So stay tuned. When we come back, we'll give you a quick update on all things Novi. Stay tuned.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello and welcome back to Update Novi. With me again is Mayor Gatt. Thank you, Mayor, for sticking around for the second half.
Wouldn't miss it. Thank you.
You know what? We've been very fortunate over the past, you know, in my tenure at least in Novi, but very fortunate not only to have great leadership through City Council, but we've been had some very, very good leaders, visionaries, and Clay Pearson, his predecessor that I'm familiar with, Mr. Howig.
Yeah.
You know, we've just.
And I'll go back, because I, as everybody knows, I was an employee for the city of Novi for almost 30 years. And I'll go back to Ed Krewall, because he also was a visionary. Because when I first started with the city, it really was a dirt road, apple orchard. And so he brought it so far, and then Rick Helwig came along and brought it a little bit further. And for the last 8 years, we've been very, very lucky to have Clay Pearson as the manager, because he was young and he truly was a visionary. And you know, as we talked about in the earlier segment, a lot of great things happened under his leadership. maybe they would have happened anyway. We will never know because he was here, but he was in charge of all that, and it really put Novi above any other suburban community in this area. It really did.
We've been very blessed. So, as this story, or as this chapter in our story closes, City Council has the task now of looking for Novi's 4th city manager, which isn't very many. I mean, in the history of Novi, 4th city manager, you know. So where are we going from here? What's the plan?
Well, here's the deal. You know, we always say that the most important thing the council does is the budget every year, and that is usually the most important thing. I look upon this task that's facing us now as the most important thing, because our next manager will probably transcend everybody that's on council now, their tenure on council, including myself. So here's the plan that we kind of approved at the last council meeting. The first thing we have to do is find a company that's going to search for the manager. And there's going to be lots of companies that want to do that search. And so we put bids out, the city put bids out, and soon the city council will gather and look at the bids. The city will recommend the top 5, but the city council will have a chance to look at everybody's resume, if you will. And at the next council meeting, we're going to choose a company that we will employ to conduct the search for the city manager. Once we get the company, then their reps will meet with key city staff and all the city council members, and they'll start to form a map, if you will, of the kind of person that we're looking for. And then the search will begin. It'll be a nationwide search to find the city manager.
And you know, as Mr. Pearson said, that Novi is a very desirable community. You know, it's still a lot of strong development, great location.
It's got everything going for it, frankly, and it's still, as you said, we're only about 3/4 built out, so there's going to be a lot more building going on in the next, 5 to 10 years. And I think that what Mr. Pearson said is 100% accurate. We're going to be inundated with people who want to come here. You know, this is the place to be in Southeast Michigan, and I won't be surprised if we don't get hundreds of applications.
And I'm guessing this will be about a 4 to 5 month process. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean,
we don't want to rush, Sheryl.
No,
this is too important to rush. Yeah.
So, in the interim, council has appointed our assistant city manager, who on February 28th, when Clay leaves his post, Victor Cardenas will become the interim.
Victor Cardenas will become the interim city manager while the search goes on, and Victor has been the assistant manager for several years now, and I'm very confident that he'll be able to handle the interim duties. Victor, in his acceptance of the interim, made a statement that he's not even going to apply for the permanent job. So obviously that will open it up for anybody on the outside, and they'll know that we really don't have an internal candidate. So, but yeah, Victor will take over on February 28th, and he'll remain our interim manager until we pick a new one.
So simultaneously, while this is all going on,
the
other most important task is the budget.
Absolutely.
As people know, City Council, a lot of people may have hibernated the last couple months, and I wouldn't blame them. Wouldn't blame them. Yeah. But City Council has been hard at work. I mean, a few really big things happened in January. The State of the City address, which if anyone missed it, please tune in to Channel 13 or Novi Television, because it is a definite must-see about Novi and yourself. Your acting was superb.
You wrote everything, and without her help, it never would have happened.
But so the State of the City address, where you shared highlights of the year past and a little bit about what's to come this year.
Right.
But you also, City Council met for a goal-setting session.
Goal-setting session, which is the most important thing that starts the budget process. Because the council then tells city government management what's on their mind, what they hope to see accomplished in the following year, and then the city people go back and put that all together, and that starts the budget process.
So and I can definitely share from a city staff person's point of view that we are in the thick of things. I mean,
you have to be.
It's hard to believe. I mean, we're sitting here in late February already, and on April 6th or 7th, you're getting a budget. So we're only 6 weeks away from giving you a balanced budget to look at a proposed budget for fiscal year 14-15 already.
Well, you know, I'm sure that the city staff is hard at work at that, as you just said. The charter gives us certain mandates that we have to meet in order to, you know, comply with the law, and we're going to meet those, and we'll have a new budget in place in May, and it's going to be balanced, and it's going to be a beneficial budget for all the citizens of Novi. I'm quite sure.
So before we close, I mean, I joked about hibernating this winter, and it has been a hard winter.
Been the hardest winter that I can ever remember.
And not just on residents, businesses, but I mean people personally. I mean, you and I both know a lot of people like the sunshine. Even if you love winter, by now I hear people going, I am so ready for it to be over. Yeah. And our Department of Public Services team has done an admirable job, and I really hope that throughout this entire winter season, people have become a little more educated about, you know, snow removal, the effects. It has been a very challenging communicating time for, I believe, you all, for our staff, and I guess I personally want to thank Novi residents for being patient, being kind, for their accolades, for working with us. Yeah. And we truly do have a great community that understands and appreciates, and as one of those that communicates for the city, I want to say thank you. And you all have been patient, kind. You get the emails, we get the emails, you get the phone calls, and they haven't all been rosy, you and I both know, but
you can't please everybody.
No, but I truly, the men and women that are out there working, and not just our DPS, let's talk public safety, because
they're out.
Let's talk
police and fire.
Exactly.
Let's talk the whole city government staff, because it truly is a unique staff. And I'm prejudiced because I was one for so long, but I know for a fact that everybody that works for the city of Novi comes to work with one goal and one goal only in mind, and that's to serve the citizens of Novi. And this winter has been trying. It's tested everybody. It's tested all the leaders and the line staff and the machinery. I mean, everything's been tested.
That's true.
Because we're working 24 hours a day, you know, sometimes 3-4 days in a row, and it's been tough, and it's not over yet. I mean, as we're taping this in middle February.
What a crazy day it was.
It's a crazy day today, and it's supposed to get bitter cold again next week, and I don't know. You know, the Tigers are supposed to open up this in like 4 weeks or 5 weeks.
I know. I'm thinking I may be in like snow pants.
Well, it's snow pants.
Snow pants at the opening for the Tigers. I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it might break before then. I hope so, but our staff, you know, people who see the State of the City address know that we did recognize the DPS staff, and rightfully so, and we should say it again, but it's not just DPS, it's the police and fire and the ordinance officers and anybody who works outside, everybody who works in the environment should be really applauded.
So, and thank you truly to our residents and businesses for
their patience.
For their patience, their understanding, and I really want to tell you, when you get the nice email,
that's nice.
It goes such a long way, and thank you to everyone that has done that and has been kind and understanding. So, and thank City Council for their support, because you guys get the emails and they're responding just as much as we are. So
yes, we do, and not all of them are rosy, mind you, but. Again, I couldn't be more proud of our
and I think
staff.
it was an educated season for you all too, learning about you know, the snow fluff and the windrow and all those things. So it was a learning season.
It was a learning process. Yeah. Let's hope we don't have to go through it again next year. That's all.
If we do, we know lessons learned and all's good. But we're all ready for spring, and
more than ready.
More than ready. So maybe next time that we're together, we'll be out and about in the community.
Let's do that.
And get out and maybe share some of the great things that are going on out outside of these
That
doors,
sounds
too.
wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
So good luck to City Council on their search.
Thank you.
And those of you that have any interest in the city manager search, in the budget, cityofnovi.org, a great resource. All of the information is there right at your fingertips. And we ask you to continue watching Novi Television because we've got a lot of great shows that are very informative and keep you up to date on everything that's going on in Novi. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Wouldn't miss it.
Thanks. And until next time, please take care and be safe.